Hello everyone, Studlord here with the top LEGO deals of the week for the UK, USA, EU and Canada. Timestamps below, but let's start by getting groovy in the UK.
Groovy, baby.
Now to start with, John Lewis still have a big sale on lots of sets, including many that we covered last week, such as the motorised lighthouse and of course the Viking village. So just have a look through and see what you like while they're available. One thing that I did want to shout out though was the return of the Jazz Club. They had originally had this on sale and sold out. So if you missed out on that one, it is currently back available, but for how long is anyone's guess. 20% off is pretty good on a lot of these sets, so head on over there now and grab it while you can. Actually, hang on, don't do it right now. Finish watching the video in full, then go and do it. Then, Argos have a big saving off of the Pac-Man mini arcade. Now, this is one that I really liked the look of when it first came out, didn't get just because the price was quite high. Also, I think LEGO did a terrible job of actually marketing this. It really is such a cool thing. The fact that when you turn the lever, it does actually work. It's just so cool. I think this is a fantastic display piece and obviously quite nostalgic for any of us who can remember playing this in the arcades. Now, at a third off, this becomes a whole lot more attractive. So much so that I think I will be picking one up myself. If you've watched previous videos in my deals of the week, you know that I do put my money where my mouth is and buy good deals when I see them and show those to you. So I think that could well be one of them. Then a bigger discount again on the Ecto 1 car for Ghostbusters. The new movie is now out. I haven't seen it yet, but can't wait for that. And then of course with the new Transformers movie coming out as well and the Bumblebee set that's coming up, we're starting to see deals again on Optimus Prime. Still not as low as it has been in the past, but a third off, this is pretty dang good. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but the way that this thing transforms, considering it's LEGO, I just think it's fantastic. Really like that set. Then over at Smith's Toys, the Ninjago City of Gardens, which is of course retiring, is on a bit of a discount as well. Now, not available for home delivery and out of stock in a lot of stores, but there are still ones dotted around the country that have some in stock. So if you haven't got this amazing set and you want to grab it before it disappears, now maybe one of your last chances to do so. Only a small saving, it's definitely not great, but once this does retire, you're not really going to be able to get this anywhere shy of quite a big markup over the initial retail price. Then over at Game, usual stuff we've covered before, Animal Crossing, Star Wars, Harry Potter, lots of new sets, yay, whoop-de-doo and all that. It is good, but just a shout out for the new Speed Champion sets, okay, the BMW M4 GT3 and the Hybrid V8 on offer if you do it through the Frasers Plus price, which is basically this form of credit. Don't sign up for it if it makes it go onto an APR. It should give you a buy in 3 0% option in order to grab that. They then just have a straight out bit of a discount off of Dune's Ornithopter. And obviously with the second movie, I can only see this just being more and more popular. So grabbing that while it is a little bit discounted, better than being spanked with a dead salmon, unless of course that's your thing. And just a quick shout out to this, not a saving, but I thought it was interesting. Obviously, we've got the new Monkey Palace board game being released in October of this year. Now, I'm saying not a saving. I'm assuming that that is the price. To be honest, I haven't actually looked. Maybe it's less. I don't know. The fun thing is you can actually pre-order it already. And I thought that was pretty cool. Then over at Very, which, if my memory serves me right, used to be Littlewoods over here. If somebody knows, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I just, for some reason, think that it was. Anyway, they've got a saving on a couple of sets. Elise Prison Island, always been one of the cool ones for City. And at £40 off, that is pretty decent. On the other end of the spectrum, we've got the new, small but cool Technic McLaren. Usually £21, now down to 16. Good saving on a new set. I do think it looks pretty cool. I know it's only small, but these do really do it for me. I like these a lot. Then they've got a small saving on Zane's Ice Dragon. Now, I don't usually cover much Ninjago stuff, not because I don't like it, but simply because it's usually really overpriced to begin with. But this set is just really cool. It is retiring. It's going to be retiring this year. And what a cool dragon this is. I mean, I just think even if you put Ninjago aside, this is one of the best dragons that LEGO has ever done. It's definitely not the best. I don't particularly like the way that they've done the wings, etc. But it's just such a cool thing. And obviously, yes, 2-in-1, so it can transform into a mech as well. It's just really awesome. So if you're into dragons and just generally cool builds, not necessarily Ninjago, then I would definitely say pick this up. Great price for what it is. Going to be retiring later this year. Don't hang about on that one. I think it's a good one. And then, of course, the new Spider-Man mask. It's just hilarious. This was on back order for quite a while on LEGO. You know, it was basically temporarily sold out the second that they released it, on back order for ages, and then we wait just, I mean, what's it been? 4 or 5 weeks since this was released. I lose track of time. The point is, yeah, it's only £12, but actually on a £60 set, quite a big saving, for a cool piece. So sometimes it does pay to wait. If you didn't get wrapped up in the initial panic buying, then now might be your chance to pick this up with that little bit of a saving. And then over at Savvy Zavvy, they've got a bigger saving on the Disney villain icons, and let's face it, it kind of needs to be now that the Wicked Queen from Snow White has been placed in the new Snow White's cottage set, which is just really irritating. Here's the thing about this, and I'm sorry, I am going to have a very brief little rant here. It makes perfect sense for the Queen to be in the new Snow White cottage set. It also makes great sense for her to be in this one because she is one of the most iconic villains. I mean, it all started for Disney's animations with Snow White, so it does make sense, but not for it to be in both. Why not just give it to us in the cottage that's been released, and then in this villain's icon set, we could have had one of any of the other number of, villains that there have been over the years. Just irritating. Anyway, this is still a very cool set. I love the fact the apple opens up. There's things inside the VHS as well. There's lots of cool little Easter eggs in here, nods and winks to the films over the years. I do like it a lot. And at this sort of price, I think it's definitely worth picking up. I think it's going to be quite collectible. It is just a shame that they've done that with the minifigures. But hey-ho, there we go, rant over. Then we've got the Home Alone house. Obviously, this very popular last Christmas was basically sold out pretty much everywhere. You couldn't get it for love nor money, and certainly not at below retail price. Now, though, we've got another decent little saving on this. So, bearing in mind that probably come next Christmas, this is going to be highly in demand again, I would imagine. Might want to do yourselves a favour and pick it up now while you can at a discount. But that's it for my picks for the UK this week. Let's head now to the EU. Okay, first things first, just a quick mention for a few sets that Amazon currently have on sale. They've got a bit of a discount off of Speed Champions, which increases again if you buy more eligible items, discounts off some of the Mario sets, also the Sonic sets that are going to be retiring, and some retiring City and Creator sets as well. Now, to be fair, the discounts are fairly sizable. I'm not going to call them out one by one because they're pretty much all things that we've looked at in the past, but basically just have a look through on Amazon at the moment, literally just put in Lego, and probably because we're around Easter, they've got some decent little savings going on those sets. Now, over at Intertoys, there is a massive load of sets currently on sale, and some really good ones as well. Nice, sizable sets, decent savings to be had. Again, just have a look through. 12 pages worth of them, and some really great ones. So many, in fact, that we would be here for ages if I were to go through them all. Therefore, I've just picked out a couple that really catch my eye. For example, the Space Base and Rocket Launch Pad. Overpriced, I think, personally, at retail, and much more reasonable at this sort of a saving, and nice to be able to see this available on offer so soon. Then you've got the likes of the Friends Theatre School. Now, out of all of the Friends sets that they've actually got on here, things like the Main Street or the Flower Shop, some really impressive sets, Heart Lake City. You might be wondering, why have I picked this one? Well, it's because I am a big fan of the Muppets, and although there are Muppet theatres sitting on Lego ideas supposedly in the review process, I don't hold out much hope of them being made. So in the meantime, this rather juvenile looking set as it is here can be turned into a pretty decent looking Muppet theatre, which is what I've done to put the CMF series on display. If you fancy doing the same thing, I would go and grab that. Then you've also got a saving on the cool Creator 3-in-1 pirate ship. Now, compared to some of the pirate ships we've had in the past, this certainly isn't fantastic. A shame that we don't have cloth sails. But the fact that you can turn it into those other sets as well as a nice throwback to sets from the past is pretty decent. And anything pirate related, I am a total sucker for. So that is a nice little saving on this one. I would go and grab it. What's even better though is this, the 3-in-1 Creator Medieval Castle. This is retiring this year. It was a pretty decent price already at retail, so the fact that you've now got a saving on this retiring set, it's making me jealous again, quite frankly, that you have this over there. Of course, if you do want to mock up a really, really impressive castle, you can buy more than one set of this. There's plenty of instructions online for how to turn this into a really impressive looking bigger castle. But to be fair, even as it is just one on its own, it still looks pretty good to me. Then just a shout out to those of you in Germany. Over at Lucky Bricks, there is currently a saving to be had on the pre-orders of the upcoming Mario sets. So your King Boo's Haunted Mansion, the Showdown with Roy in the Mushroom Palace, and of course the Bowser Express Train. All of those yet to be released. I think it was August, isn't it? Yes, August that they're coming out. But you can pre-order them already at a saving, which now just takes the jealousy scale right up to the top for me. I don't know about Lucky Bricks. What exactly is the German for Lucky Bar? Anyway, there we go. That is it for the EU this week. Now let's pop on over to Canada. So we'll start with a quick mention for Indigo. We had a look at this a couple of weeks back when the offerings were quite a bit better. Unfortunately, the sale has been on for a while now, so a few of the sort of better sets, shall we say, that they had have now disappeared. There are still a good amount to be found though, especially if you like your City or Friends sets. There's also some savings on the likes of Mario, Creator 3-in-1 and the odd Harry Potter set as well. So just have a look through there. And a very similar thing for Toys R Us. So there's nothing too specific. Unfortunately, the likes of R2-D2 or the Harry Potter Hedwig display that we looked at a couple of weeks back, they've sold out as well now. Obviously, these deals don't always hang around, but there's still some pretty good ones to be had, depending on what themes you're into. Things like the City train station, that is a good one to pick up on sale. Again, they've got the discount off of some of those retiring Harry Potter sets too. So just have a look through and see if they've still got any in stock that you are missing and actually want to pick up. Again, things like Indiana Jones, which we know is retiring, good to pick those up on a saving while you still can. The Technic Audi that I mentioned last week, such a cool set. So just have a look through, see if there's anything there that tickles your fancy. And then over at Best Buy, still got a wide range of savings off a load of sets. Obviously, my favourites when it comes to these usually are the likes of the Botanicals or even the Japanese Tranquil Garden. Such a beautiful little set, this one. So I know it's a small saving, but definitely worth having a look at. The one, though, that I've picked out is the Little Mermaid Royal Clamshell. Definitely a more decent saving on this one. And whilst the live-action remake of this was just awful, in my opinion, I'm sure some people liked it, and either way, the original animation was absolutely awesome, and the clamshell itself is really cool. Some of the minifigures are okay as well, so, you know, now that it's on at a discount, it is a pretty looking display piece and probably worth picking up. Then, over at Mastermind Toys, there is a big sale currently on Friends and City sets, just lots of them. Again, about 20% off all of these. I could pick out loads. I mean, Heart Lake City Shopping Mall. I know it's a Friends set. It's not overly colourful. I definitely think it's one of the better ones. Looks pretty good in a City lineup. So obviously, as long as you don't mind the mini dolls, you know, grab that. And then, you know, the City Apartments or the Deep Sea Explorer. There's just lots of good sets from the Friends and City range currently on sale at the moment, including things like the new Crook's Hideout. Now, there is a mixture. Some are available online and in store, so you're just going to have a look through and see which is which. There are a few that are sold out online, so you're only going to be able to get them locally. Just have a look through and see which ones appeal to you. Really nice saving across a large amount of the range there for those. And then Walmart don't have much this week. Some small discounts off a few of the other sets that aren't available on those other ones that we've just had a look at. You all know, though, that my favourite is, of course, the Disney 100 Years animation icons. I've told you about it before, so I won't do so again, other than to say I wouldn't miss out on it while you can grab it at a discount. And then JR Toys, again, a few discounts worth just having a look through. The one that I've chosen, though, is Disney's Frozen Ice Castle. Now, apparently we've got yet another Ice Palace coming out this year, which bamboozles me. I kind of think, how many of these can they actually do? That said, if you are a fan of Frozen, or indeed just want to collect all the different types of castles that Disney do, this is effectively the, well, sort of UCS version, I suppose, of the Ice Palace. I do have it. It is on display, and actually it is a very good-looking model. I'm not a fan of the mini dolls. I don't usually go in for this sort of thing, being an extremely macho sort of chap who's constantly out sports and all that stuff, playing D&D, you know. Anyway, it is good to have on display, though. Looks much better in person. I don't think that the pictures ever really do this justice. But it's a decent set. Currently out of stock online, so you'll just have to have a look through and see which stores near you do have it in stock. I have been through. There are several that actually do. It's obviously just going to be down to where you live to see if it's actually worthwhile going to a store that has one. If there is, I would suggest picking this up. It's a pretty cool set. All that said and done, though, let's now pop down to the United States. Okay, so kicking things off at Walmart, they've got a good deal at the moment off of this one. Now, we don't really cover Technic that often on these deal videos, but I am getting more into it, and this is one of the cool ones. If you like playing with big machinery in the farmyard, rolling around in the mud, then this is definitely one for you. Now, normally at $200, it's a bit of an eye-watering price. It'll put many off of what is otherwise a very impressive set. Thankfully though, $60 off, this becomes a heck of a lot more attractive. So I would suggest taking a look at this in more detail. Of course, if you are a Technic fan, you'll know how good this is. But if it's something you only dabble in or just looking at getting into, this is a pretty good place to start. So take a closer look. Then if you just saw the Canada section of this video, you'll know that they had the discount on Disney's Ice Castle. And if you didn't see that, what's wrong with you? Go back, watch the entire video, even the bits that aren't relevant to you, because that helps my watch time. So this is a cool set. It's just such a beautiful winter display. Doesn't look great in the pictures. Looks pretty fantastic in person. Yes, it's mini dolls. You don't have to display those if you're not a fan. The castle itself is just really pretty, impressive display piece. And if you do like winter scenes, actually build it, put it on display for Christmas. In that respect, it's awesome. And a good saving on that one as well. Then over at Macy's, a small discount off the likes of Optimus Prime, obviously with the new Bumblebee set coming out and the new Transformers movie. Just want to highlight that one for you. Got some good savings across other sets as well. If you like your trains, your City Express passenger one, that's currently on sale. Obviously comes with power-up options as well. So even if you didn't want to power up this particular train, you can take that out and use it to motorize other trains that don't come with those hubs and motors in their own ones. And then same again for the City Freight train. Really cool set, this one. If you are a train fan like we are. $40 saving, pretty reasonable. I would go and pick that up. And then they've also got savings off the likes of several Creator 3-in-1 sets. My favorite probably being the Giraffe. Do like this one. So they've got savings on that. And then over at Target, again, more savings, wide range of things. To start with, lots on the botanicals, including some of the new ones. Small discounts, but obviously on this range, they're only a fairly small price to begin with, so it does help. And then you've got a saving on the Spider-Man mask. Again, as I mentioned in the UK section, so much popularity for this when it was first released. Everybody going crazy to buy it. And now here we are, only a few weeks down the line, and we've got a pretty decent little saving off of that. Now, it did throw me because it said not available for pickup or delivery, but then I went through and it actually said that it can be shipped. It's just on a back order. And when I also checked stock for stores, it still said that some had them. So you basically can still grab this if you want it. And at this sort of saving, definitely better than a kick in the shins. You've also got a discount off of Venomized Groot. Definitely one of the cool looking figures. Lego definitely have like Venomizing things lately. And indeed, with Venom 3 coming out in cinemas later this year, it'll be interesting to see what other Venomized sets they're probably going to give to us. In the meantime, $10 off of that one. Pretty good saving. Nice display piece. Same can be said for the Ford GT. Very mixed opinions on this one. Lots of people, seem to dislike it. I know that apparently it has different flaws. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this particular car. So maybe that's the reason that it doesn't bother me as much. I just think that it's a really cool looking set. So I guess for fans who know the car and don't like some of the flaws, it's not worth getting. But then if you're like me and wouldn't particularly know what those are and just like to have a cool looking model of a pretty iconic car, that's a good saving, worthwhile getting. You also have a discount off the Disney Villain Icon set. Now, I had a rant about this earlier back in the UK section, so do go back and watch that if you want to know my thoughts on it. Despite my irritations with what's happened, it is still a good set and one that I think is going to grow in popularity and just cool to have on display if you're a Disney fan, of course. So I definitely wouldn't go anywhere near it at retail now. But this is a decent little saving, 20% off, so well worth considering. Then you might not be a fan of the Venomized Groot, but our newer buildable character of Rocket is certainly a cool one to have. Again, the marketing imagery on this were terrible. It really doesn't do it justice, but I do have it. It's built on display next to Groot, the normal one, not the Venomized one, I should hasten to add, and it certainly looks a lot better in person. And as the newest entry in the lineup, it's nice to get that little discount off of it. And then I just finished off by choosing the Vespa. I've always liked this set. I just think it's a really cool one. And there are several older sets like this, which they also have a discount on as well. So it's quite easy to have missed things like this. You might not have older ones, but they've got quite a few of them at the moment, to be fair, on Target. So again, just have a look through and see if there's any, not necessarily this, that you do want to pick up while they've got it on a saving. But yeah, I've always liked the Vespa, and that's a pretty decent little saving to grab on it. What's much better though is over on StockX, I've picked out this week Gringotts. Now, obviously, over on Lego, the retail for this is $430. Very impressive set. Now, you can buy this. Obviously, there will be fees and shipping to pay depending on whereabouts in the States you are. It does change depending on that. But even with those added on, you can look to save at least 15% on this. Some places up to closer to 20, which is definitely very welcome, even at the lower end, for what is a pretty incredible set. The price is, of course, still high, but just makes it that little bit more accessible for those who find the RRP out of reach, quite understandably. You never know, you could also offer a lower bid and be able to pick it up for even less. So that is definitely a good one to grab. If you are a Harry Potter fan, one of the best UCS style sets that I've seen in quite a long time. Very, very impressive. But there we go. That sums up my picks for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, join the channel as a member, and of course, make sure to comment down below on any other deals that you have seen, any that you're going to be picking up. I do like to see those as well. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you on the next one.